Okay, hello everybody. Welcome back to the Lich's Archives. We're doing, as always, Inflict Heroics. How you guys doing today?
Pretty good.
Are you actually asking us? Like, are we
Yes.
supposed to answer?
Are we
the
supposed
viewer
to
there.
In this case,
I'm
yes.
confused.
And with that, we'll jump into the game. Why not? So, my friends, you guys have made your way to Black Hollow. You've had a couple of encounters. Nothing really sticking out too much. Instead, you guys got paid. You were asked by Hertha to do a couple of things. And it ended up working out just right, as Shalashar, who brought in a body, was asked to join them on the Shadow's Bane. Hertha, wanting to leave, instructed or suggested that you should leave them someplace on their ship. And you managed to do that during this odd interview with Yudvrog, this very large orc who is a pyre of the flame, who's been tasked with looking into the murders that's been going on. Most of them seem to be pointing towards the rats. During this interview, you guys managed to get out safely and even gleaned a bit of information. You passed off Hertha, telling him that with the use of this, perhaps they could look into their best lead, some female elven blacksmith who smithed a bunch of rings that were very similar to this poor fellow Yudvrog was interviewing. Seeing this, getting out of it, not taking any bells, ringing any alarms, you guys exited the Shadow's Bane. Meanwhile, Assi and Arod, you guys did what you could to avoid getting entangled with the flame. Instead, you decided to go spend some money. Did a little bit of looking around. You went for the strangest magic shop that you guys could find. After asking a couple of questions, you ended up at some weird winding alley that seemed to go underground, some subterranean place that was filled with smoke. Didn't even catch the name of the figure who helped you there, but you bought a couple of items, and one of the coolest things being like an immovable rod, and then made your way out of this place. Got a salt lick as well, and then you ran into the rest of the group, trying to explain where you were, what was going on. Things just weren't adding up. Even the alley behind you closed as you left. It was just such an odd experience.
I think you mean great.
Now, the last thing that happened is you guys were winding down for the night. A septon.
He was just called the captain.
Yes, the captain. Still not his name, but you did get his title. You guys ran into Shalashar and Kor, as well as a septon showed up to interrupt, handing over Shalashar's bought plate armor, custom made. It was a beautiful piece of work. Assi, you also came out ahead in this dealing, snagging yourself a three-legged table, which doesn't quite sit steady, but it's reduced a bit of weight, so why not? And that's where we will be joining you guys. You guys made your way back to Spoke Me Timber's Inn. You were currently all huddled in one room, looking over this armor. Would you like to pick it up there, or would you like to pick it up on the next morning?
Like, pick it up there.
Like to pick it up there. Alright, well in that case, you guys are all in this room. It is not the most spacious. It's a decent bed, probably a twin bed, so you guys did get a little lucky. The rooms were upgraded thanks to Arod's patronage downstairs and cast iron liver doing the Lord's work. You guys were actually given 2 rooms as this, so you guys might need to bunk up. Within this place, though, you guys have a window that's just kind of letting a little bit of light in as the sun is starting to set off in the distance. Nothing too crazy in here, just it is comfortable enough, for what it is that you've done. This was definitely a steal. So with that description in mind, whoever wants to begin, feel free.
What? Sorry, please.
Now you go ahead.
What time is it? Like, are shops closing up already, or is it just getting to that point where they're going to be soon?
The sun is starting to go down. It would depend on the shop you're going to. With your perception, from underneath you, it sounds like the Spokane Timbers Inn is not going down. Off in the distance, you can also hear a couple of birds calling. You hear sailors yelling in the streets. A couple of songs just making its way up here as well. You're in a very busy harbor district. This place probably isn't shutting down for a while. But if you were to go deeper into town, things would probably be different.
From walking around town, and is there any magic shops in the immediate area that I figure might be open?
From what you've passed by, there would be one not too far away. If that is what you wanted to go.
Yeah, I just wanted to run it out and get something really quick.
So you just want to look at these guys, give them a salute, and head out with your armor on?
Yep, they helped me get my armor on. Good fucking luck.
So as you guys finish, like, putting on Shalashar's armor, unless you guys want to stop him, he just heads to the door.
I wanted to pick something up really quick just before we kind of close up for the night. So I'll be back in probably a half hour, so shouldn't take me long.
No worries,
Okay.
stay safe.
See you later.
I'm gonna follow him.
Okay.
Okay.
What, like sneakily?
Just blatantly. Where are you going?
I leave Dottie on Avon's shoulders, and I follow him out. I say, I'm gonna get a midnight stack and stuff
Midnight
my back.
snack at 6 p.m.
Well, when you get back, I need to talk to you, Assy.
I'll be back.
We'll be here. I'll be downstairs at the bar if you need me.
Oh, I'm sure I'll be able to find you, and then I like pull up my freaking green and orange lizard on you.
Good lizard.
Because if you'll remember, Dottie is currently.
A Jesus lizard.
Oh no, sorry, I'm wrong. A bright red Jesus lizard and a foot long. Well, a foot tall. Standing.
Yes. Supposed to look something eerily like cold. You know, it's...
I'm gonna like wrap it around my shoulders, both ends. Wear them like a scarf.
What about you, Cole? What are you doing as everyone kind of like starts splitting up here in this room?
I'll join A-Rod and have like a small drink before bed.
Fantastic. As you guys all head downstairs, you can see like the ability to get alcohol out of the door in this place is just in full effect. You don't even need to order drinks, they just have them lined up. And people just kind of come by, grab it, and there's just a single barmaid back there who is marking things down. The barkeep himself is taking orders, but the lady working the bar is just kind of keeping a running tally of all of the drinks on the bar and anyone that grabs them. And then as soon as something's grabbed, she just puts something else in its place. A-Rod and Assy. Sorry, Assy and Shalashar, you guys are heading out. With your perception there, my finely plated friend, you would know where the magic stone is. You noticed it as you guys were kind of walking your way through town. It's still close to the harbor district, but it's kind of on the edge of it. This one, the way it looks is it looks like it is also subterranean, but that is because there's a dwarf that owns this place. If you were to walk inside, the door itself is framed. Like I said, it's meant to look like a mine. And just kind of goes down, and there's a bunch of fairy lights that just kind of line this place. And you kind of walk through this tunnel for a little bit before it lets out into not quite a dwarven hall, but definitely reminiscent of it. It still has the burnt timbers that you see everywhere else in this town, but the walls themselves, instead of being rough hewn. They're all nicely carved with just arcane sigils across it. Do either of you speak Dwarvish?
Hopefully it's a dwarf. Dwelf.
Yes, I do.
You do?
I do. I'm a dwarf.
Alright, if you care to read it, it's just a bunch of fun little legends about like the history of the dwarves and like how enchanting works. Fun little ditties. A bunch of them actually kind of go into like songs or chants.
Okay, I'm gonna make a couple of notes of like the songs of the chants.
Fantastic.
But like, I'm also trying to like stay on his tail.
Alright. As you guys walk in, there is
I have to stay hidden from Salashal, even though I know it's kind of a worthless effort.
you can roll stealth if you would like.
Yeah. 'Cause, like, I am trying to be sneaky. Like when you go out to a party in high school and your little sister follows you.
But it's like a little half-hearted because you're like,
Yeah, like,
Well,
oh, no.
I'm taking it seriously, even though I know I have yet to sneak up on this fucker.
Yeah, maybe one time I played this too loud.
Ooh, this might actually not be bad. What do I have to this? +6. Okay. 23.
Shalasha, what's you can make a perception or what's your passive?
I rolled an 8, and that's a 24 for perception. so like,
Oh man, I very nearly snuck up on you!
Yeah, like
I'm gonna
they're
take
following you. You're aware that they're there, but every once in a while you like lose sight of them. But as you guys go into this tunnel, you're like, they're behind me. I'm well aware. We're all well aware. The only one that isn't well aware as you come down into this place. At the back of this hall, shall we call it, the walls actually, there's almost like a table that's been carved out of it, and it sloops down extremely low to either side, and then it raises back up to form the desk, and it kind of cuts this chamber in half. There is a dwarf. He is wearing, it's actually a little strange. It looks like robes, but it looks like they're like made out of stone, and yet whenever he moves, they just kind of move with him, and moves in the way you would expect cloth to move. His hair is shaved in half, so on one side he is completely bald and he just has a bunch of tattoos. They're in Dwarvish. Very similar stories or that sort of thing tattooed on the side of his head. The rest of his hair very long, almost down to his waist, and it's just coiffed off to the side. His beard though is immaculately braided. It almost has like he's put it into 3 different things and then he's braided those together. Looking at him in this light, all of the light in here is fairy light. He is blonde. But with the lights as well as the fairy lights in his beard, it almost looks like he's like glowing. Almost as if he's like supposed to be holy. He just kind of like looks up at you guys, gives you like this very nice smile, polite wave. And the runes on the walls start to glow. Shalasha, what are you thinking of when you walk into this place?
Honestly, I'm probably thinking about the twins and the druid and kind of like our next steps forward as a group.
Assy, same question.
I'm thinking about how I am so good at hide and seek.
That's the thoughts, huh?
Yeah, like, man, I'm so glad I grew up with so many brothers, because I am so good at hide and seek.
The king.
Alright. As you guys
Yeah,
walk in, the ground starts
Maybe
to
one
shake,
flew on you.
and several pillars kind of like come up next to the walls. On one of them, there's a pair of boots, there's a cloak, caltrops, you know, certain things like that, as well as like a spyglass. On the other side, there's a few scrolls, as well as what seems to be a basin filled with water. The dwarf just kind of, continues to look at you guys, and he's just seeing kind of, what you do or how you approach these things. He still hasn't said anything yet, though.
I'm probably gonna just dart my eyes off of things as I kind of approach his desk. Just kind of scanning the room, kind of taking it all in.
Okay. As you approach, he does break the silence and says, "None of it's to your liking."
I have something a little bit more specific in mind. It's interesting, but honestly don't know what to do with half of it.
Well, if it was specific, then you should have showed up. But please, friend, tell me your worries.
I was actually looking for a bag of holding. They could be quite useful, and I'd just rather have something a little bit more easy to contain.
A bag of holding. Well, they're a little rare, but they're still a common staple, so I happen to have a few on hand.
If you don't mind me asking, how much are they?
Let me just check my stock. Very quickly. You didn't come alone, did you? I see both of my walls went off.
No, my friend decided to follow me for some reason.
For some reason. Well. Very well. And he, actually pulls out a scroll in front of him, and he says something in Dwarvish. You understand that he's just muttering to himself, bag, 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 and he's like swiping through this thing. like he's going through an index. Here we are. I have a couple. Mostly depends on how you want them to look. He like puts his fingers to his head, and you see like the daises that like went up for you like lower. You hear quite a bit of clanging as something go underneath, and they raise back up, and there's 3 different bags on them now. The far one over there is about 1,000 gold, and one closer is about 1,200. The only real difference that you can see on them, one of them is just, seems to be a sack. It has a little bit of like dwarven runes along the side of it, and then it just has actually quite fancy drawstrings. The other one, very similar runes, but they've been done in golden thread, so it's just quite a bit flashier.
I'm not so much worried about the price, just more what it can do. I mean, the other one looks a little bit more fancy, but 200 gold, is that just for the sake of the gold strings itself?
Wow,
is there something
the
else?
Time embroidering it? It was made with love. They can both hold up to 500 pounds.
If it's all the same, I don't need something fancy.
He says, and he gestures toward your armor. Don't be coy now.
Honestly, I asked someone to make me some plate mail, and they decided to come up with this. This was not out of my request, but I will give that to you. I'm just gonna like open my bag and I'm gonna look at like my fancy gold mask and everything. Okay, I'll take the 1,200.
Good choice, son. He reaches his hand out, and you see his hand actually a mage hand comes out of his hand and it like flies over to pick up the bag and then returns. Is that coins or gems you're paying him?
Coins.
Oh.
I'm just trying to do math. Math is hard.
Starts
I'll,
from the nose.
I'll fish 1,200 out.
1,200.
Just like bag. And then I'll just throw down the equivalent in platinum. That's what it gets.
Fantastic. Now, there's anything else, we must be quick. I was planning to seal the mine rather quickly, but do you have
No,
anything else?
That should mostly be it. I just needed something to store my valuables. Keep things a little closer on hand.
Well then, in that case, it's been a pleasure doing business with you.
Of course, and you as well. If there's anything else I need, I'll definitely make sure to come back and check it out.
Oh, please do. We have quite an extensive inventory, as well as you'll find out if you come back. The point is, whatever Cassius has, I'll make it better.
We'll keep that in mind. Thank you. And I'll give him like a little half bow and turn on my heel.
Alright. Assie, following, staying?
I'm gonna follow.
Alright. As you guys leave, you can hear the sound of like the ground shaking as the pedestals lower into the ground once more. Where would you guys like to head as you exit back out into the streets? It's starting to get a little rowdier now, especially closer to the harbor district.
Can I make a history check?
On?
Druids, and more specifically, Black Hollow Druids.
Black Hollow Druids. Yes, that would be a history check. Next time, if you want, you can always just word the question, and I will let you know what to roll. You don't need to ask for the checks. I got you.
Yeah, I wasn't certain exactly how to phrase it. I have a +4 and 16, so that brings up to dirty 20.
Dirty 20. And you're just looking for like the general history as to what it is that you might know about them, correct?
I'm curious to see if they're specific. I understand that there are different sects of druids. I'm just curious about Black Hole Druids, if they're active at night at all, or if they kind of praise the sun.
With
Like-
that role, you would understand like the main purpose of this circle is to protect the tree. So there probably is some around at night and some around at the day as well. You know, they keep it rather maintained. With that check, you would also know that most of them are wood elves, and this tree being protected is like, you know, it's elves. They're going to be around. They don't really sleep a lot. It's going to be well maintained and well guarded at all hours of the day.
I'm gonna hold my finger up to my ear, and I'm going to send a message off to Kerr. I'm finished at the shop. I just had a thought I want to check out. AC's still following me. I'll be back shortly. And if possible, I'd like to head off to the infamous Black Hollow.
Okay. Assie, following, staying?
I'm following.
Alright. Cole and...
I'm curious to see where this adventure leads.
Me too. Cole and A-Rod, you guys are still at the bar. Anything you would like to make me aware of? If you want, you can make a perception check and I can tell you a bit more as to what's going on at the Spoutney Timbers.
I'm not particularly interested. I'm just looking at my drink kind of seriously. Getting hammered.
Trying to get hammered.
I'll make a roll.
Alright. You can make a
So-
con save, or you can choose to fail it. And just tell me how fucked up you would like
Get
to
drunk or...
be by the time they get
Come on.
back.
Get drunk with me.
I think he was talking to you. So, considering that someone might be listening, have you come to a decision?
Yeah.
And that's a 5 on perception, by the way. Yeah. With advantage.
With advantage.
Yikes.
You would be aware that it is getting rowdy, and it is just a wall of noise that's just kind of pressing on you. But like as the night is going and the more like A-Rod is drinking, it's just continuously rising. Since Shalasha and Assy left, it's probably almost doubled in volume, and in volume as more people have stumbled in from the streets.
I'm gonna give some ale to Dottie. See if he wants to lick it up. Come on, take a lick.
Dottie is not down with this.
No,
Dottie's not
Dottie.
down with the
Being a
sickness.
responsible adult at the party.
He just like dips his feet in it.
Just marinate.
So they might be a little while. They're heading over to Black Hollow proper. Just got a message from Sally.
Well, that's alright. I don't know why she went. Probably just to get into some trouble, I'm sure.
You might want to take a
Can't
little
confirm.
quick cleanup before they get back.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'll stop drinking right now. I'll just push
Well,
the
I meant,
ale
like,
away.
Well,
In that case, I will
about
ask
it
for a
being
con save
smell a
just to
little
see
bit.
how far we got before
I
this
will-
decision.
Roll that con save. I have a +0 to my con, so and a 3.
3.
Yeah.
Alright, as you like say this, you kind of like tip the mug in front of you, trying to push it away. You know, at this point, you kind of like look at your hands, and you're at that point where like everything's kind of swaying with you. You know, you have the mental fortitude of being like, I fucked up.
Yep.
But you also at that point where you have the confidence to say, this is okay. Couple of deep breaths. I'll breathe
I'll
through
be
this.
okay. I'll just.
There's blood in my
I just
alcohol
need to be
system.
calm. Just need to be calm. Help me, Core. Help me.
Hold me!
You know what? Come with me. Let's get some cold water on your face. Maybe some soap underneath the armpits.
God, I love you, Core. Thank you.
Yeah.
Big
that's,
Papa Kurt?
Yeah.
No, I freaking love you, Core. You don't get it. You're
I'm
great.
not that drunk.
But I am. It's okay.
There's a guy next to you like, I love you too. And he
I
tries to
love you
hand
too, stranger.
he like hands you another cup.
Oh God, no,
No.
honey, no.
No. Why does the child have to be the adult?
Alright.
Come on, let's get you cleaned up. Hopefully sobered up enough for whatever happens tonight.
Dottie does their best to help, despite the fact that they are, in fact, a lizard.
Alright, so
Just
you guys
abandon
head
their
off
blizzard.
to try to sober up A-Rod, and we'll check in on that after this. Assy and Shalashar. Bit of a walk to get to this tree. The buildings start to take on more and more of this child appearance the closer you get to the tree. As well as some of them are even painted with like red lines through some of the beams, almost to look like they are still on fire. As you get closer to this tree, this motif kind of like continues. You know, it gets a little brighter. They add more shades, a bit more flair. Not enough that it becomes gaudy, that it becomes overdone. It is all very tasteful. You know, it doesn't come off as cliche, shall we say. Around this tree is actually a very large hedge, except this hedge is, it almost looks like it died in winter. The leaves never came back, and instead it is just spikes just sticking out of this thing. One place where the road connects to it, it goes into like a very large archway with, again, a bunch of twisting vines that look like they like cover the entrance of this thing. There's no handle or anything like that. With your perception, Shalashar, you can see What's your passive again? You're like 22, aren't you? Roll a perception check for me. Let's do that. Same with you, Assy, if you want. I'm sure you can do better than Shalashar, or you could give him advantage if you so choose.
I'll give him advantage.
I mean, I rolled a 19, but
When it starts getting a little
34.
more sus, I'll
34.
go up next to him. Like we planned this. Even though we definitely didn't plan this.
Alright. With that ungodly high perception, you're able to see quite a few things in this tree. This tree goes up extremely tall. As I said, a bunch of this city is actually shaded by this tree. When I say giant, I mean giant, gigantic. It is blocks spanning in its foliage. At the very top of this tree, before it gets lost into the foliage, so I guess I should say the lower branches, you can make out what seems to be buildings. It looks like it has some sort of elven city living within it. You can also see spider webs from one side of this tree to the other from all of these branches.
Spider webs?
You can also see a lot of spiders, but these spiders are varying in size, as well as it also looks like they are all in one area. And with your perception again, you can see what seems to be a flock tender that is actually spider climbing himself on the side of the tree, just trying to like keep these things. They're not overly active. A bunch of them are just kind of like laying in wait, but if one starts to get too close to another, he intervenes. He like...
Can I ask a question? Is there one really big spider?
Not that you can see. Not that you can see.
Okay.
You can also see that past this gate, it is just a big open courtyard. The only buildings that you can make out are the ones up in the tree. Besides that, you can also make out several guards, statues, various figures that just kind of like line up around the tree and also like go all the way up to the gate. As you guys approach, though, you see as like this boar just swoops down from one of the buildings, and like midair they like transform into an elf and they just land on the other side of this brambled gate. They just kind of look you guys over. And are you up?
In the back of my head, I'm thinking, show off.
Show off. But they're definitely just sizing you guys up, but they're doing it in like a very over dramatic way. Their posture drops and then it comes up, and they almost look like they're emulating a board as they do this, trying to gauge you guys. He's pop lock and staring.
Yeah, I'll definitely approach them. I will take my weapon out and I'll like put it on the ground in front and step back with my hands up. Like, I mean, no harm. And then I'm gonna reach down and then stow away my scabbard. And the ones that are standing there, are they elvish?
It's just this one figure that has approached. With your perception, you can make out they, through the bramble, right? You can't get like the best look of them, but they do appear elvish. They have very, very long ears, even for an elf. Their hair is brown, and it seems like it's been shaven really, really tight to the scalp. But it's like hair tattoos to look like branches of a tree. Their robes as well, they seem like they're made out of feathers, and then the bottom row of their feathers are all black.
Okay. In Elvish, I want to say a bright dawn to you.
A bright dawn? Okay. In Elvis, they reply and they go, "Wasn't expecting that from you. Why do you come here?"
I was hoping to seek counsel with the Circle of Druids here. I have questions and concerns that I was hoping to gain some wisdom from.
You don't look like you're from a circle.
I'm not. I've come a long way, and as of late, I've encountered a rogue druid, from what I understand, and I need some advice. Being in Black Hollow itself, I understand there's some druids here that may have some knowledge I could draw upon.
Roll a persuasion check.
Okay. That's a 16 minus 1, so 15.
I will pass your message along to the circle. Return tomorrow.
I will. Thank you for your time. And I'll give a little half bow, and I'll turn my heel.
Before you even bow, they've like taken a step back and they like fling their cloak out to their side and it just turns into wings, and they almost do like a backflip and weave their way back up.
Show off.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Yeah, so I'll turn my heel and I'll just start heading back to the inn.
Okay. Assie, you heading back to the inn as well?
Unless something interesting catches my eye.
Okay. Cole, what is your plan to bring Arod to a serviceable state?
Get him into one of the rooms. Bring in a large bucket of the coldest water I can find.
Okay.
And just dunk his head right into it.
The coldest water they would find here would be the seawater. So it's quite salty for you. What check would this be? Let's do another con check for you there, Arod.
Sure. An 18.
An 18. It takes the edge off. You're not perfectly clear, but as you like pull your head out, you know, you were drunk enough that like you didn't quite close your eyes, so they're just burning from sea salt. Your sinuses also rather clear from this little submersion. The world isn't quite as spinning, it's more or less just rocking now.
That's way better. Oh, that's so much better.
Did Dobby try to like shove his head down by forcefully jumping onto the back of his head once more?
Cole just doesn't stop.
just one more good like this splash. You know what
Maybe
you
hold him
did.
down a little bit too long.
The bubbles stop.
Yep. Now this isn't an instant thing, you know, it takes you a couple of tries, you know, you guys have a little bit more time if you want it as you're just going through whatever it is you can to try to sober him up. But if there's
I'm also gonna get his shirt off and like pull out some soap and like at least scrub his underarms.
Okay. Would you like... I'll let you choose, Cole. Do you want Shalasha and Assie to show up while you're doing this, or well after this? How do you want Arod positioned as you're his life coach in this moment?
After. Yeah.
Alright, so when they return, what are you two doing as the door opens?
I'm sitting with a cup of coffee in my hands.
Help me!
And a soaking wet hair.
I'm just flipping through my book.
Dottie tells me you are naughty.
Only a little. Only a little.
Dottie's a
Nothing's-
liar.
They weren't saying you were naughty.
So you guys get everything done?
Yeah, mostly. I want to head to the keep. The twins. The druid has them. I want to make sure they're all right.
Yeah, I really do think that should be priority number one.
I agree.
I went to the Circle of Druids and I wanted to ask them for some information, what knowledge we could, if there's anything we can do. I think consulting with them will be a good plan. Even if there's a way that we can limit what the druid can do, or I don't know, kick them out of the druid fan club. I don't know how fucking druids work. If there's something that we can gather from them, I think it'll be a good plan before we head to the keep. So I'm heading there tomorrow, and after that I'm ready whenever you are.
So wait, why the hell do we need to kick the druids out of the druid fan club?
The
So-
necromancer druid. Maybe they can do something about it. Is that what you're thinking?
Maybe. I'm not certain how druids gather their powers. I'm not certain if they're more powerful with a sect. I'm not certain if there's a way to strip them of their powers or limit their access. Those are the kind of questions I want to ask. Obviously, the druid is tainting something.
I think they get their powers from having crushes on trees, but that's just my understanding.
I mean, it's par for the course. But I was hoping there's something that they could give us, or at least let them know that there's someone out there who's befouling nature. They're trying to become a lich as a druid. Like, that's... I don't feel that's right. Something doesn't sit right in my bones. So I was hoping we can get something. Anything.
One of the things that was sat right with your bones, though, honestly.
Definitely not hammers.
Did you just make a joke?
Joke.
I didn't think you knew how to do that.
I'm old, not dead.
Debatable.
Anyways, why does it look like you fell in the latrine?
Oh, it's just this whole crazy thing. Well, I guess it's not really that crazy. I had a bit too much to drink, and you know.
I'm gonna walk over and put the back of my hand to your forehead. Are you sick? I can fix that.
No, I'm fine. Really,
You can
it's-
fix the hangover?
I'm gonna put my hand on his back and cast Lesser Restoration.
As he casts this, there's like, you feel like the bones almost like reach through the gauntlet, and you almost feel like this weird something like pulls something out of your brain, and as it like comes away, just the filter of drunkenness is removed, as well as the itch on your nose is gone, the uncomfortability of like the salt in your mouth, like you just feel refreshed. This is probably the best you felt in quite a while.
Wow, thanks for that. I knew there was a reason to keep you around.
It's not for my dash and good looks.
Oh, you.
Anyways, what do you guys have left to do in town? Are you waiting for anything?
I'm good to go whenever you guys are.
Nope.
I kind of wanted to look into some things around town. I mean, these motors have been going on for ages now. They clearly aren't getting any closer.
Can I...
Not.
The thing about the killings, they've been going on for a while. The twins? I don't know if they have a while. The killings can wait. We can still get information after the fact.
And the flame is already looking into the murders.
And Lord knows they don't want to...
The way I look at it, the twins are either dead or not. at this point, I would say probably already dead. But these murders are happening out of character. I've listened for these reports. How often are people dying? Or at least disappearing?
Make an intelligence check with advantage. Or history if you're trained in it.
17 on the die. It's gonna be at least 18. I am trained in history. So that is 21.
21. Thinking about the murders and how long it's been going on, it has been almost 6 months. You also aware that the man that Matthias is replacing, the original council member that was running for a seat of alimony, died within this city.
Yeah, and he died with a thing in his mouth, which is why Matthias wants us to come down here anyways. Or at least part of it.
And then, counting the deaths, since you guys have been on the road, you've caught wind of at least 15 murders over the past 2 months.
So I'm gonna take out some of the paperwork from Matthias, specifically the stuff about the council member that he is supposed to be replacing. We are hired by Matthias. He sent us here for a reason. The previous council member died, and over the past 2 months alone, there have been 15 murders. That's one every 4 days.
And if you have the paperwork out, the other thing that would be mentioned is the vote is coming up rather soon, as well as there's mention that Matthias is going to be arriving later this month in Black Hollow. He's supposed to be traveling here rather shortly.
There's a reason why he wanted us to come here as quickly as he did. Because the Sacred Flame hasn't done shit to stop all of these murders.
They've got a fairly good lead.
See, I don't want to boil this for you, but the flames, they're working. Trust me.
You're letting your personal feelings for the twins get in the way of this is a job that we were hired to do, and if we fail it, our benefactor could die. So the twins are 50-50 already dead, and we can't do anything about it. At the very least, we can try and solve these murders before Matthias dies. And however many other people it would take for us to go to the twins and come back. How many days would that be?
Mostly. Yeah.
Like seriously, DM, out of character, how many days would it take to travel to where the twins are supposed to be and back, not including any time to figure out the mystery there?
It would take a while, but there's also a note in the last message that Matthias sent that says if you want to return to Milscar, he will secure you travel back through a teleportation circle.
So that'll take us back to Milscar, and then from Milscar to where the twins are.
It's pretty quick from there, if I'm not mistaken.
And
Yes,
then
it
from where
was
the
just
twins are,
in Thorn Forest. At least that's what you're guessing.
And
So,
then
anywhere from 1 to 2
somewhere-
days travel from Milscar.
Plus
So-
the Elven highways, right?
Yes.
So it would be about
That's why it
2
is
days.
1 to 2 days travel through the forest.
So it would be 2 days there, roughly, you know? We're going, we're averaging here. And then from there back to here, and we would not be able to take a teleportation because he would no longer be paying for us to go back.
Unless you convince him. Just so you guys know, I'm going to give you the concrete timeline, in case you care. Today is the 14th of the 5th month. Matthias is showing up in 2 weeks on the 30th of this month. There's 32 days to a month. 8 days to a week.
One second. Let me quickly.
Right.
14th of the 15th.
So currently it is the 14th of the 5th month.
And he arrives on the
30th.
30th in 2 weeks.
Yes. And the vote to find out who the council member that is getting the seat on the Council of Alimony happens on the 9th of next month.
Okay. And it would take, at the very least, 4 days to get from Milska to where the twins are and back.
Yep.
That's at least one death for sure based off of how often these deaths have been happening. And considering the fact that the election is getting closer, whoever it is might even ramp up to try and cause more problems before then.
Honestly, I'm fine with that.
I'm worried about possibly saving somebody who might already be dead, and by
don't
doing
think they
so,
are.
abandoning people who we could save.
I don't think they're dead.
I
I
think,
think they're being used as
alright, AC, let me...
collateral? Hostages?
Hostages. Do you know much, from what information I can gather, from what I know about Yun, magic circles are not cheap. Right? If Matthias can manage to arrange passage for magic circles namby-pamby, I believe that he's in a better situation. And it wasn't about him dying, it was about him keeping his spot. He wants to stay on the circle. He wants to be a major player here.
He doesn't want to be on it though. We won the road with him. He didn't want to be doing this. He's doing it because it's his duty to the people.
That was the prince. Matthias, he came over here from the islands.
But okay, out of character. Because stroke brain, wasn't it Matthias we were on the road with the twins?
Nikolai, his son.
Nikolai, his son.
Nikolai,
Yep.
his son. Okay.
Because Matthias is the one that hired us.
Yes. Matthias is the one trying to get on the council.
Okay.
But
okay.
Nikolai, and I'm reminding you because, like you said, had a little bit of trouble remembering things recently. He was doing his best to fit in with the twins, but when you guys left, he said, I have a duty to my father. I am going to let them do their thing. I'll keep my eyes on them, but I can't travel with them anymore.
Yeah, because I remember specifically having a conversation with him about hey, if you don't want to do this, I'll help break you out, essentially.
Yeah. Then that's when he said, you know.
Nah, it's my duty. I'm gonna do my job.
So when I say Matthias is not in danger here, I am absolutely certain that of all people, he's going to be safe. The twins, on the other hand, yeah, we
They've
didn't
already
spend much.
Killed one council member.
We didn't spend much time with them, but I feel I owe it to them. I want to make sure they're safe. If you don't want to come with me, that's fine. I'll go by myself. But I don't feel right leaving them there, especially with some perverted druid who wants to achieve lichdom. That doesn't sit right with me. They've been
Going by
killing
yourself
people.
is a death sentence.
I'm already dead.
You
If I
died
don't find
twice.
what If I don't find what I'm looking for, that's fine. If I die knowing that I was able to help 2 people that were in danger,
But you wouldn't be helping them. You'd
You
just
would
be
be
dying.
gambling on the lives of 2 people and risking the lives of many others. However many this person, the rats, decide to kill in the meanwhile.
The thing is,
It's guaranteed the rats are going to kill at least one person based off of projections from how often they've been killing.
But there's already a group investigating the murders in order to stop them, whereas no one's going to be helping the twins except us.
There have been multiple investigations.
I want to walk up to Kerr and I want to bend down and whisper to him.
6 months of them.
Can I tell them about Hertha on the boat? Do you think that's a problem?
No, go ahead. I was going to tell them later anyway.
Kerr and I went to the boat. They were investigating the body, and they showed us the bowels of the ship. For some reason, Hertha wanted
To go east.
Yes. So, Kerr gave them Hertha. She can read minds. They currently have someone in the bowels of that giant galley warship that was not willing to speak. They can now read his mind freely. They're already on the rat's trail. They have a lot of tattoos they've lovingly removed from rats. If I was them, if I was the rats, I would not stick my head up right about now. The flame on them, with how heavily guarded this town is, I don't care how good of a rogue you are. You're pushing your luck. So, a week?
Yeah.
Maybe there and back to save the girls?
Yeah, the flame is actually like a lot further into their investigation than we would get. They've got quite a head start on us.
They've gotten nowhere in 6 months.
Yeah, but we just gave them a huge step up.
Kills have been happening all up and down this coast, and I'm pretty sure they would have actually hired sorcerers and wizards who could read minds already.
There's mental blocks, though. There's charms.
They
Yeah,
could.
that
Where
was
Hertha,
pretty.
she's incredibly
they have the entire
powerful.
might of the government behind them, and honestly, I kind of think that they're probably letting the humans die because there's elven places around here. This is the one place where they would give a shit about it, and they haven't managed to do anything about it in 6 months.
Did you know that on board, that the person who is very far up, the person who is interrogating, and is presumably very high up on the food chain in the flame, is an orc? They're not humans. My assumption was they were only humans with some political standpoint. They have demi-humans all over that ship. They know what it's like to be ostracized and demonized. They're not letting humans or non-humans die for any reason.
Oh no, I mean all along the coast, because there were murders happening down in like Red Bay and Red River. We're hearing about it.
Do you know that some of those killings that happened when we were in Milscar were because of the druid? Those corpses that were found on the edge of town? Those were messages.
Yeah, but
For
those
us.
were the rats.
Those weren't the rats.
Mm-mm.
Those
That
are what
was
the druid told me about
Directly
after the
because of
fact.
us.
And the rats are the ones that killed the council member here.
No,
And
council.
the boss who is paying us is coming here.
Okay.
We signed a contract with him. The
Like I
tools
said,
are
AC.
awesome and all, but we owe it to Matthias. We gave our word as Inflict heroics.
I gave my word as a cleric and as someone who tries to protect the people I care about that I'm going to save the girls. I'll
When?
contact. I'm leaving tomorrow.
When
I'm not-
did you give your word to do this?
Right
Did you
now.
sign the paper?
Literally, the only thing you would be accomplishing is dying. You wouldn't save the girls, you wouldn't even come close. You would be dead. It's that simple. You're not actually gonna do anything by yourself. None of us can go by ourselves.
Won't be by himself. I'm going. Just because I think it's the right thing to do.
As far as I've heard, Kerr, you agree with me.
Mm-hmm.
A-Rod, you're on board with me for the most part. AC's the odd one out.
We are already here. The people are dying here. We don't even know if the twins are alive.
Matthias
And
flat out said we
If
can
this
come back
druid
early.
is this old and this powerful to be attempting lichdom, I think we're just gonna die going up against him. At least if we deal with
The
this
thing is-
first, we'll be doing one problem here instead of doubling back and forth. When you're cleaning your house, you don't mop the floor in one area, go to a different room to do the dishes, and then come back and dust. You clean one room and then you move on to the next.
Who knows how long this is going to keep us here? If it's as big as you think it is, as it could be, the girls are gone. If these killings have drawn so much attention that they're pulling the Flame into this, who are incredibly powerful, is killing members of the council of a fucking continent, this isn't going away anytime soon. This is going to be an ongoing battle. I'm saying we contact Matthias, say, hey, I fucked up, but some of my friends are in danger. We'll be back in less than a week. I'm fairly certain he can hold his own hand for a week.
I hate to say it, Assy, but I agree.
I think the girls are already dead,
Then
and I
let,
am tired of running away from my problems.
then let
We
me...
promised to help. We promised to do Matthias's work here. I'm gonna see the job through instead of running off on a suicide mission. And with that, I'm just gonna leave the room. And I'm gonna make sure to like slam the door hard.
Well, I was about to suggest that we still have, at least one of us still has a sending scroll and just flat out ask Matthias what his thoughts on it were, but
That's what I was going to do. I'm going to tell him straight up. And we even told him when we were in Fapon, when we were leaving. When we contacted him, we said that our friends might be in danger and we wanted to go look into it. It's not like we're blindsiding him here.
I really
Well,
hate
should
to
we
say it,
at
you're-
least give her some time to cool down?
Yeah, just give her a minute to blow off some steam. She'll come around.
And maybe tonight's not the night?
Yeah, probably not. You thinking so?
Yeah. Yep.
The night for what?
Nothing.
Alright.
Don't worry about it. Nothing important, actually. Well, maybe, but
Still,
Nothing
I don't
major.
know. I see both sides of the argument. I really do. It's we're
do I.
we're put in a really bad position of choosing innocent people to die by the rats, or let the girls die, which I don't believe that they're dead. Why would he kill his only bargaining chip? It's the only thing keeping him tied to us.
And that's the thing, like, that's why I'm curious about the Lich, because the Lich wants... Remember that stone we found in the tower, the Amber?
Mhm.
Yeah.
The one you crushed into powder?
Yeah, that was in no way, after checking it over, like, that was in no way any sort of semblance to a phylactery. I don't even know if a druid can create a phylactery and become a Lich. So
Out of
by
joke,
all
I
means,
was actually the one that crushed it with my jewelry
Oh,
crafting kit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I
Demon.
don't even know if it's possible. So by all means, they're just a crazy druid who are holding 2 people hostage. 2 people we know. That's
What
why
if
I
we
want to
just went in, like, not intending to go after him at all, but just grab the girls and get the hell out of there?
I
Without
don't think
getting
that's
into a
going to be
fight.
an option. It's a fortress.
And if there's nothing stopping them from... I don't know how they got the girls to begin with, but there's theoretically nothing stopping him from just kidnapping more people. I think if we go there, we get the girls,
Yeah,
and we
good
put an
point.
end to this. No more innocent lives in danger. No more.
Well, we would be putting innocent lives in danger because of the rats. That's kind of the problem.
Well, I mean, we just gave the flame a huge step up.
That is true.
Like, how many skins were there, Kerr? There's a
Uh,
pile.
Like a lot. I didn't actually count.
They had skinned, maybe flayed, like a colossal pile of skins from rats. They're getting there. They're digging deep, and we just gave them a hot knife. I think 7 days, maybe, is a very good timeline for getting this done and over with. Especially with someone getting bloodthirsty. I don't like going back on my word.
Very quickly. Where are you heading, Assy?
I'm going to go and do what I do, and I'm gonna find the skeeviest fuckers in town, and I'm gonna make some friends.
Okay. As soon as you head out of the bar, even with your perception, you do notice this. There is a line of about 12 paladins lined up in front of the ship. It seems like you can see a crowd gathering, and it looks like they're yelling for them to release someone. And you can see like the paladins are starting to draw their swords, and they're like yelling for everyone to back up and that everything is under control.
I want to know what this is about.
At this point, Shalasha, you would also be able to hear the same with you, Arod, with your passive perceptions. You can hear the jovial music that's been drifting through is starting to... The levity's leaving. The night is becoming a little bit uncomfortable, and the raised voices are becoming a lot more angry. What did you
Hear
want to
that?
do, Assy?
I wanna get close though. Not too close that I get involved in what's going on, but like close enough that like somebody just outside of this can tell me like what's going on, what's happening, what are
Debauchery.
they shouting about?
They are going to inform you that they brought in someone well-known through the community, and as well with your perception, as well as asking this. Let me make sure I don't mess this name up.
History on the person?
I will have that in just 1 second. Era Rith, a female elven blacksmith, was brought in earlier today. And everyone is yelling and saying, you know, she's innocent, just let her out, and the paladins are just back up.
How do I spell that name?
It's complicated. A-A-H apostrophe
A-H
R-I-T-H.
R-I-T-H.
Fucking
Elvin Black. Have I ever heard of this era with people?
Nope.
Okay. What was she brought in for? Like, why?
You don't really have time for this conversation. It's like people are yelling, and he's like yelling at you as well. Like this conversation is happening in shouts as things are going on. What are you guys doing inside?
You hear that? What is that?
You were to look out the window, you would see this as well. There's a line of 12 people, heavy armor, red cloaks, and it looks like they have their swords out at this point, and there's probably about a 5 to 10 foot ring between these guys who are holding the gangplank to their ship and a growing crowd of probably about 30 to 40 other people. Most of them seem like they're drunk and just kind of like around for this, but the people closer to the front are like kind of shoving each other and like, you know.
There's some shit going down outside.
I'm skirting around this. I'm getting myself in an alleyway and I'm climbing up something.
Can
Okay.
I?
I want to get a good view.
Make an athletics check for me.
Athletics. What about acrobatics? If I try to do some flippy shit to get up there.
If it's acrobatics, it's with disadvantage. Because I'm mean.
You can't do a backflip up 10 feet.
I thought acrobatics is a better bet mathematically,
Okay.
even with disadvantage. Ho ho ho! 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
21. Alright, cool. I'll get back to you. What are you guys doing inside as Assie's trying to find a way out?
I'll look out and be like, oh, well, the flame sure is not subtle.
Can I hear what they're yelling about outside? Like, can I pick out any names or anything?
With your perception, you are able to pick up the name, and you recognize it as the blacksmith that you guys kind of pointed them towards.
Ah, so they've already started.
But you're hearing, they're yelling like, free them, what are you doing here, you don't belong here, that's not a merchant ship. And you just hear the paladins just repeating, just calm down, they'll be fine, back up.
For your knowledge, A-Rod, because I'm assuming
I'll be with you in 1 second, Assie.
AC's gonna tell you. So on one of the rats, we found a series of rings that all had the same exact mark from a blacksmith. They were very simple rings that have no right to be really made by a blacksmith. You could find them anywhere. And they all had the exact same markings. So we got the name of the blacksmith and the markings from that blacksmith, and they're now asking questions. Because she could very well be connected to the rats.
Assie, what did
see.
you want quickly?
I can see where this is heading.
Yes, specifically, as well as now that you've gone in, you've gotten on top of a nearby building, not the best view. Make a perception check.
It's looking, just as I'm starting to get up here, it's looking like a riot's gonna start. I'm gonna try and circle around towards this blacksmith shop, and I'm gonna see if I can take advantage of the fact that a riot might start. Maybe the sacred flame will get called away.
Okay, so you just want to kind of figure out where this place is and take a look around. Make an investigation for me.
Investigation. Investigation. That is 17. No, wait, 18. Forgot about Jack of all trades.
Got it. Alright, back to you guys in this building as Shalashai is just quickly catching you up there, A-Rod. Things are definitely getting louder and louder at this point, but the paladins are not rising to the occasion. It seems like they're still trying to de-escalate, besides having their weapons out.
I'm not gonna get in the middle of that. I don't think I could,
They're
tell
about
the
to
pro-
cut these people down.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, they don't have their swords out for fun.
I don't think the crowd would listen to me.
She's a well-known member of the community. It's gonna be a touch, a little tumultuous, but I don't think they're gonna hurt her. I mean, we told them what Hertha can do.
Make a perception check, Shalashai. You can as well, A-Rod, and Core, if you guys want to get by the window.
31.
Jesus.
Fuck.
14?
22.
I love perception. It's the one thing in my life that makes me happy.
Okay. What did you get, A-Rod?
22.
22. Alright, cool. So you're mostly able to see the paladins. You can see, like I said, there's still this gap. You can see, like, there's quite a bit of jostling around the front line. You can also like make out a couple of shapes running up and down the gangplank. It looks like there's some sort of communication. Shalashar and Arod, you guys can make out that there is a line, you know, you can kind of see, like, you know, with the the sunset going, you're able to see just a little bit of what seems to be metal glinting in the sun from on top of the boat. What you're able to see, Shalashar, is you have a little bit more. The way this thing is docked, it's sideways. You can see they're loading the cannons on the side facing the town.
Can I...
You can also see, like, at this point, you were, like, in line with, like, one of the cannon decks.
Can I roll insight on the cannons?
Yeah, they go boom.
Yeah, but is it indiscriminate boom, or is it like a threat or a promise? I need to know what the mailing letter is
You've
like.
never seen cannons go off in your life. You've heard about it. You know that Char specifically does not want Sigwolf to have cannons for some reasons, but you yourself have never witnessed a broadside or anything like that.
You just know they're doing stuff.
But you do see, like, you know, like cannons roll back and then roll forward. And then the next one in line rolls back. And it seems like they're trying to do this sneakily. They're not doing it all at once.
I am so glad I left. I am so glad I did not decide to stick around and watch this riot.
Look,
Oh, what do you see?
Another one loads. About halfway through loading the broadside.
Of you two charismatic at all? Can you worm your way into diffusing those cannons with your words?
You see the next
I
one
will.
rolls back.
I'm a little grating.
I think I'm the only one with charisma.
That one rolls forward. Next one rolls back.
Out of character, my charisma stat is decent, but I'm just not a charismatic person.
I mean, if I'm being honest, I don't think they'll fire him.
See another one rolls forward as another one rolls back.
They're not loading them for fun.
There's
Again,
probably 5 cannons left before the entire broadside is loaded.
Yeah, but are they really gonna start a war with the entire continent? Especially with so many humans here, I don't think they're gonna do that. Like, that would just be reckless.
Another
gotta
one rolls
say,
back.
That's stupid.
Assie's idea to go after the murders is seeming a little bit more practical at this point. They do not have a handle on the situation at all. They're loading cannons, for God's sakes. What else do we need, people?
2 cannons left.
I'm going down there, and I'll run out.
Okay, so you just kind of like leave the room at this point. Where are you running to?
I'm gonna run and try to get some elevation.
Okay, you can make an athletics or an acrobatics with disadvantage.
I'll make it athletics.
Does he have the
Shut
full
up, shut up.
lizard on him?
What are you two doing as A-Rod leaves this place and you see now the second to last cannon rolls back?
Dirty 20.
Oh, fuck me. I'll grab my bag. I'll sling it over my shoulder and I'll take off running after him.
Oh, God damn it. I open the window and I just simply jump out. I try to shove my
Make
way
an
towards
athletics
the,
check.
shove my way towards the.
And what did you get there,
gangplank.
A-Rod?
20.
20. And
There's a for nerds.
what did you get there, Core?
10?
10? Like you land, luckily you don't really weigh that much. So you're only gonna take, I don't know if you even take damage from this. I think that would be fine. Like, it's not the best
Oh, I
thing.
can
Like, you
take
kind of like land pretty heavy. Like, you make a spectacle of yourself as you like go into a roll, kind of like going sideways.
You sploot.
And where are you heading, Shalashar, as
I'm sprinting down to the boat.
So you're sprinting there as well. Right.
Yep.
A-Rod, you go for elevation, so you actually find the very similar place that Assy went to, and you make your way up there.
Do I spot Assy?
Huh?
Do I spot Assy?
Assy is gone. They made their choice at this point. You can make a perception if you want. One more perception.
Yeah,
just for
sure,
old time's
why not?
sake.
I'll roll perception.
I got halfway up a
23.
fire escape and thought better of it.
What do we get?
23.
23. You would be able to see Assy far away from the boat, and it looks like they're heading deeper into town away from this. You only make them out because of like their patchwork armor. You know, they have kind of a distinct look for them, as you see like their tousled red hair moving deeper towards the town. You can also now make out, and you watch as like the last cannon gets pulled into the ship.
I'm just gonna start yelling down at the crowd, run! They're loading the cannons! Run! This isn't worth it! This is not worth your lives!
Cole, Shalasha, what are you two doing? You said you're sprinting towards the boat, so you guys also can tell me what it is that you're doing.
Yeah, I'm shoving my way towards the gangplank.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to...
Are you just sprinting, like full bore? You know, so you make it to, like the edge of the crowd, and now you see like the ring of the 12 paladins.
Yeah, I'll sprint towards them and like, I'll hold my hands up. Wait. Fuck's his name? Out of character, what was the
I
orc's
can't
name
tell
again?
you that. Sorry.
Son of a bitch.
Cole, what's your approach? As Shalasha runs out, he's going, wait.
I'm going to be using my small size to like slip between everyone's legs.
Okay, like you're also able to make it to the front of the line, and now like you guys are like facing off against the 12 paladins.
What was his name? What was his name?
Yurdrog. Something like that. Pyre Yurdrog.
Wait. We were here earlier. We'd like to talk to Pyre Urdrog.
Make a persuasion with disadvantage.
Urdrog doesn't have any friends.
Yeah, but we're here on business.
No, that's not what they're thinking.
That's a 15.
15. What was the other roll as well, just for fun?
The other one was an 18.
An 18. Okay. The people behind you are yelling, and they're you can catch a couple of words. As I said, like at this point, it is just chaos. So yeah, I don't have good sounds for this, so I'm unable to sell it convincingly. Let me change the music to this. Hopefully that helps. One of the paladins does step to the side, and he like beckons for you to like step forward. But the people behind, as you go, like one of them like punches you, and he's like, "You're working with them."
I'm gonna speak up in Elvish. Get away. I'm trying to fix this.
But as soon as you like step forward, you're like pulled behind the paladins. Cole, you can follow as well if you want. Or you can stay here.
Real quick, out of character, what are you going to be doing, James?
I just want to see the pyre and be like, I don't know what they're doing.
Unfortunately, you guys didn't discuss this. You guys came around.
Okay.
You have to act with what you know in this moment.
All right, then I'm going to ask one of the paladins to lift me up so I can the entire crowd can see me.
Upbeats?
They're not going to do that.
I think I can defuse the situation. I just need some height.
They just this is your last chance to go behind them or to stand in front of them, basically.
All right, I stand in front of them and I'm about to address the crowd.
Okay.
That's so stupid. I'm gonna get myself killed.
You would get to go first, as Shalasha needs to make his way up a gangplank. Assy is crossing through a part of the town, and A-Rod currently is not here.
I will
When he
put
gets
my
back
ass
on the
in
jump
front
to him and see what he's doing.
Oh man, now I really wish I had the urchin background, because then I move twice as fast in cities.
Whoops.
Yeah. One of the times it comes in useful.
Sometimes these matter. So,
Yeah.
Cole, what is your rousing speech?
Well,
People are yelling, and you can see also, make one last perception check, just for- now that you have a new view.
Come on, you bastards. 15.
15. You can see, like, the people close to the front, most of them are unarmed, but there are a couple that are, like, getting past something. Because you're so low, you're not looking at their shoulders, you can see their hands. Some of them have, like, clubs and stuff like that, and you can even see, like, one of them is currently being passed something. Before you go, A-Rod, you're on top of something. You're looking down, you see A-Rod running away, you see Shalashar gets past the paladin line, and you see Cole is moving and now standing with the paladins. What are you doing?
I'm gonna take my bow out, knock an arrow, and just wait if the paladins start swinging with their swords.
Okay.
I'm gonna fire on one of them.
Cole, it's your moment.
do you like waffles? Yeah, we like waffles.
Do you
Heart of
like
Darkness.
fire?
So hopefully that'll help a little bit. And I'm gonna yell out, everyone's to the crowd. Everyone stop. The White Flame has been trying very hard to investigate the murders that have been going on and to stop them. The blacksmith happens to have vital information that they need. She will not be hurt. They just need to ask her some questions and then she will be released.
I am a lizard.
Persuasion. It'll be disadvantaged, but I am keeping in mind your thing. Just because this is a very sort of tense thing that's going on here.
I believe she won't be hurt.
No, I'm lying through my teeth. Honestly,
Should it be
I think,
deception?
oh, that is not good. I have a +7 in persuasion, and it still only comes to 12.
Only comes to 12.
Yep.
Okay.
This is about the time you cheek her.
So, at this point, Shalashar, you make it to the
Yeah.
top of the gangplank.
Gotta be honest.
You can see, like, there is a line of people up here as well. Most of the crew, and it looks like they've all kind of armed themselves. Instead of wearing plate, though, a bunch of them are wearing leather, you see some scale, you see some chain. All of them have weapons, and they're all kind of lining this side of the ship. A bunch of them also have crossbows, and then there's another line behind them with crossbows, and then a third line behind them as well with crossbows as well. But they're all studded, so it's like 3 deep, but it's like diagonal. And you can see the captain as like at the front of the boat, and everyone is kind of like looking towards her, and she just has her hand resting on her sword, watching everything. As you get on, though, she does like look towards you.
And I'll kind of raise my hand, like, please, come. I need words.
She just beckons for you to come up, but she does not take her eyes away from anything else.
I'll if able, I will like sprint up to her, just like.
Right.
increase
As you
the,
start running, this is when you hear the sound of
angels singing.
Cool. At this point, a rock gets thrown and it just like sails past you. Followed by another rock, and one of the paladins raises his shield and it bounces off. And another rock, and suddenly, Shalashar, you hear the sound of almost hail, and the shouts getting even louder, followed by a very loud whoosh sound as like a wall of fire just erupts in front of the paladins, and all of its heat is burning towards everyone else. A-Rod, you see a bunch of people after they throw these rocks start falling up. You see this fire come up, and you see like 3 people catch fire, and they like roll on the ground trying to get away from this, and the crowd is starting to disperse, but other ones are like One guy, like, tries to kick through the fire, and his leg goes up in fire, and he falls to the ground. Do you want to shoot at the paladins in this moment?
The paladins were not the aggressors, right?
No, but there's a wall of fire that's going to last for 10 minutes now, and then we'll see what happens. But there are quite a few people on fire, and Assia at this point, you also, the sound of this thing going up, like, just... It's very loud, and it gets very quiet all of a sudden, and then you just hear people screaming in the distance. You're probably
I'm a Vogue.
10 minutes away from where
I'm
this
gonna
blacksmith
continue
shop
with
was.
What my plans were.
Huh?
I'm gonna continue with what my plans were.
Right, so you
And,
just put
if
your
I
head
happen
down
to
and you just
come
keep running through the streets.
If I happen to run across any guards or whatever, I'm gonna tell them there's trouble at the docks. People are dying, and I'm gonna break off running again.
Got it. You can make one persuasion check for me while you do this. And I want to jump to you, Shalasha, as you approach, and you can hear all of this, and with your perception as well, you'll see it. Cool, actually, I guess I should start with you as you're the closest to this.
Ooh.
You can see one of the paladins in particular is doing this, and he seems like he is far more gilded than the others. You know, he has the seals of office, but as well as his cloak is like completely embroidered with like various shades of golds and reds. Everyone else has like a solid red cloak, but not him. What did you get for your persuasion there, Assie?
22.
Okay, fair enough. Some of them do start running as you like keep running and you're yelling this out through the streets. Some people taking heed, some not, but the farther you get into town, it seems as though...
I'll slow down when I'm a little bit away, and I'll start looking to like sneak up on the place.
Got it. It's going to take you a bit to get there. Cool. We're going to start with you as you're the closest to this, and you're the one that had rocks thrown at you when this came up. This paladin has, you know, he basically moved his sword in an arc in front of him, and that's where, like, it was his component of him popping this thing up into it. The other paladins at this point, they've fallen behind, so they're no longer a ring, but instead they're a wedge, like a V. And as they're doing this, one of them, as you're in front, is going to try to, like, pull you with them. He's just going to go, "Come, little one, get out of the way."
I think everyone should get back onto the ship.
Alright. Shalasha. At this point, as I said, you see all of this happening. You roughly see some movement down below. The captain hasn't taken their eyes off from the scene, and they just, like, vaguely give you, like, the side eye, but they don't say anything.
Please, please. Keep the cannons. I know that it's getting a little crazy out there, but we cannot afford to start a war. I was just down there. I understand that they're questioning the blacksmith downstairs. For the sake of everyone here, and for the sake of your position, I don't think we can afford to have this go on.
Thank you for your concerns. I am well aware of it. But unfortunately, my hands are tied.
Well, why don't you
Let them on the ship?
remove yourself from the dock? Pull up the gangplank, we'll get off. You drift out a little bit.
Are you suggesting we run?
No, I'm saying pull back from... If you pull back from the dock, they can't reasonably get at you. They're just gonna stand there and scream and move on.
We're not worried about them getting to us. We're here to install order. The murders have gone on for too long. We brought someone in. What happens, happens.
I understand. I was also hired, me and my friends were also hired to investigate the murders. We've talked to Erdag, we've given them a tool. They're a little up in arms because it's a member of their community. I'm certain in this one situation, a a little diplomacy might do you better than arming your cannons.
You tried diplomacy, they didn't step back. You put up the wall, when it falls, what happens happens. Cole, what are you doing as like the paladins? They have not gone up the gangplank, they're just holding their spot here. About 2 minutes have elapsed, and we have 8 more minutes until the wall goes down. You're muted.
Almost forgot about that. Fuck, I can't reach any of the people that are hurt because of that
Anybody, you can
firewall,
jump in
can I?
whenever you want. Just let me know. Please continue, Cole.
I can't reach any of the people that are hurt, can I? Because of the firewall.
Nope. You just see a wall of fire and you hear people screaming, and every once in a while you see like the odd rock like sail over top, and one of the pallets just lifts his shield or it clatters off the gangplank, or one of it splunks into the water beside the boat.
This is gonna fucking hurt.
And A-Rod, you can see more people gathering on the other side of the firewall. Now this has gone up, and as he's yelling, more people are funneling towards the harbor.
Can I get up to a point, like, is there, can I look over the edge of the boat here and
From where
see
you are,
everyone?
you have a clear view. You can't see the first 10 or 15 feet beyond the firewall, as the wall's there. But beyond that, you guys can see more people gathering on the cobblestones.
How far am I from like the group of people?
As I said, this thing is quite tall, so you're probably about 60, 70 feet? Because, you know, it's up and over. Like, this thing is tall. This thing is, like, taller than some of the buildings. This is a 3-deck gunship.
If I go to the gangplank where I came up, can I still see the group fairly clearly?
Not as well, you know, the captain is up on, like, a crenellation to look over everything.
I'm gonna run back down to the gangplank, and then I want to cast Calm Emotions.
Okay.
I'm stepping through the fire.
You want to step through the fire.
Through the fire and the flames?
No, I don't want to. But I have to.
Okay. It is cool on this side, but when you pass through, it's going to get a lot less cool very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus! Use Born of the Flames. Little Cobalt who could.
We'll start with you, and then we'll go over to our lovely cleric. Can you make a dexterity saving throw?
Okay. And just checking something real quick. Okay.
Because I know where this is going, I'm gonna start rolling.
Oh, nice.
What'd you get?
28.
28.
No shit.
Yeah, 18
pretty
plus,
good.
plus 10.
Okay, so that's half. So you're only going to take 22 points of fire damage as you pass through this thing. It is incredibly hot. This was a upcast firewall.
20.
Can I see Kurt?
I can take that.
Yes, you will see his little tail just kind of like disappears through the fire.
As I see him pass through, fucking speakers, idiot. I just want to reach down.
Now,
into
just so
my
you guys
phone.
know, firewall only lasts 1 minute. So what you do also notice is as it falls, another paladin brings it up. So they're doing everything they can to keep it around. But you do see, like, as soon as it starts to waver, another one brings it up.
As I see him go through the flames, I want to reach down and just give like a little please Juxta, protect him as he walks through the fire.
Okay.
And I would like to half his damage.
Okay. 10 points of fire damage instead of 20.
But as soon as I get to the gangplank, I would like to fit as many people in a 20-foot sphere as I can and cast Calm Emotions.
Okay. And it's a wisdom save. What's your DC? 18?
14.
14.
Have I not done yet?
Fantastic. I'll roll a couple of these. A-Rod, anything I should be aware of from, as you see, like, he'll go through this thing, you see Shalashar puts his hands across his holy symbol, and you can see he's casting a couple of spells.
Not a whole lot I can do right now. I'm gonna find a place to hide while still keeping line of sight.
Right. You can make a stealth check for me. Do you want to stay elevated or get down to the ground level?
I'll stay elevated.
Yeah, sorry, my DC is 15. I just haven't updated it.
15, got it.
Oh, that's a nat 20 for 30.
Fuck yeah, okay. Cool, you walk through this thing. You can see now, like, people have moved back about 30 or so feet. There's a couple of people that have been burnt and they've been, like, dragged away from this firewall. There's a couple of people, like, bringing buckets of water and they're, like, dumping it on the wounds. More and more people are gathering and you hear, like, people yelling, people... Emotions are high. And then you see some of them just randomly, like, just look dazed for a second and they're like, what's going on? And then other ones that are just, like, yelling and they're using magic on us.
I have 3 spell slots and 9 points of lay on tail. I'm going to start with the worst off people first, and I'm just going to start healing people.
Okay. You fit in quite well, as there's quite a few other people trying to do some things here, trying to help.
As soon as my spell hits, I want to run down the gangplank towards the firewall and pass through it.
You want to try to run through it as well?
Yep.
Okay, make a dex save.
17.
17. This has now been 5 minutes, so it's this guy casting it. 1 more.
Is he within 10 feet of me when he passes through?
You will pass this one, as we're getting to the lessers. So you're only going to take, with a save, 15 points. You will also see Shalashar now, like, passes through, and it has the same description as he comes through.
As I pass through, I'll just kind of, like, shrug through the pain. And then I want to call out, I want to raise my voice, and I want to call out to the crowd. Please, listen to me for one moment. Hopefully, because hopefully some of the people were actually paying attention. They saw me go up and come down.
Maybe.
I just want to be honest with you. I'm going to cast magic that does not allow me to lie. I want to talk to you truthfully. And I'm going to cast Stone of Truth.
Okay. So as you say this, some shadow, like, comes off. And, like, it forms little runes on the ground. And it's almost like this gray circle that glows, especially when you're backlit by this fire. To them, you're just a shadow in front of surrounded by a gray ring.
My name is Selshar Longpire. I came from Yun. I'm an elf. Believe it or not. I went up on the boat and I talked to the pyre downstairs. He's been looking into the murders that have been plaguing your town. I know this is a lot. Emotions are running high. It has come to my attention when I talked to him that a local blacksmith might have some understanding of what's happening with the murders. This is why you're here. As far as I can tell, she is not going to be hurt. They had rings on their hands that came from a blacksmith. We are simply doing our best as well as I was hired to come investigate the murders. We are simply doing our best to try and help you. It's okay to be angry, it's okay to be scared. But arriving in force against the flame, this isn't gonna help. This is giving the killers the distraction they need. Trust me on this. We are not against you. If you don't trust me, if you do not believe the circle I'm standing in causes you to tell the truth, come in, try and lie. I'm not hiding anything from you.
Make a flat persuasion check. As behind you, the firewall, the last one does dissipate. It just slowly fizzles down.
Oh, yeah. 17.
17.
Considering I have a -1, I'll take 17.
Okay. Cool. Any last moment things you would like to do as you see Shalshal giving this speech, the firewall coming down behind him?
I assumed all my healing, that's going to take some time.
Yeah, you've been here for a little bit. You've healed as many people as you can. So you can use as much healing points as you want, and you let me know how many spell slots you're willing to spend. As there's probably about 9 people that have been burnt to varying degrees.
And
I have 9 points from Leonteo left. I already forgot how many spell slots. I had like 2 or 3 spell slots. I already deleted those. And I'm going to use everything.
Okay. So, Ava, we'll tell this from your perspective. You hear Shalashai speak out. You see this thing dropping. As he finishes, you can see there's more people farther back that haven't moved. It's almost like this crowd has like almost split in two. A couple of people start to move forward. Probably about 6 people armed with weapons, and they like look behind them. They realize the crowd isn't fully with them, and there's like just like this long, pregnant pause.
as I'm standing in the zone, I'm gonna have my hands up. Like, mean no harm. I do want to call out, I am a healer. If you have wounds, I will tend to them. We are only here for your safety. And I'm going to like sit down in the circle and put my hands on my head.
As you say this, listen, there's like this long pause. 6 of them step forward, but no one seems to follow them. One of them, a halfling, who has like quite a few tattoos on his face. He like spits on the cobblestones towards you, and the 6 of them just kind of like step back. And then the paladins start calling for everyone to disperse again. Some of them start leaving. It seems as though you guys probably did enough to dispel this, but there's still a lot of tension.
Please, trust us in our judgment. If you wish to pick a fight, if you wish to talk, if you want to throw things, I will be on the edge of town. If you want to fight me, attack me, I will not hold it against you. I understand. Things are tense. Just let the flame do what they need. I will pay the recourse.
At this point, people from your audience, and more people are starting to leave. There's still more kind of like whispering through this crowd, but the 6 people that stepped forward have now moved back. It looks like they're gathering smaller groups and they're breaking off. You're starting to see like it's whatever this was, whatever momentum was stopped, and it's starting to fracture and splinter. More people moving back, some people going back to the tavern. The paladins at this point have like moved forward and they started to take more ground. along the harbor.
I will unnock my arrow, give an approving nod, and just say, "Good work, Bone Daddy. Good work."
I'll just give a small nod off to A-Rod.
You don't see
I don't
him.
think you
He's
can see me.
He's gone.
Oh, there.
Yeah, you just hear the sound of heavy metal boots behind you. More people yelling. You see Core next to someone. He's like casting a spell and you see a wound starting to close. Fresh skin healing over it. A bit scarred than it was, but doesn't seem like anyone's died.
I relinquish hold of Zone of Truth. It leaves the symbol of Juxta engraved into the concrete.
And what would you like to do? Go and help as well, or?
Yep. If there's anyone I see injured nearby.
Assy.
Yes.
At this point, the rest of the town here has quieted. Anyone that is this far in town has scurried off into their houses. If they wanted to participate, they've moved. If they didn't want to, they're probably in hiding. Behind you, some of the screams have started to die down. The streets are getting quieter and quieter as you close on your target. Eventually, you do find this blacksmith shop. It seems like the door was kicked in. It's like hanging in. You can see as well, like pretty much every window was smashed as well. And there's quite a few tools across the ground. Make an investigation or perception check for me.
I go boof boof. And I bring Dottie here.
Okay.
And I find myself a nice little helicopter, like, burrow into, and I send Dottie in.
Okay. A-Rod, Dottie disappears from your shoulder.
This would have
Okay.
happened. Would this have happened?
This would have happened at about this time that all of this is done, because you were 10 minutes away, the firewall was going to last for 10 minutes, we had 10 paladins casting it. So around the same time that the fire goes down, Familiar disappears.
Got it.
Okay. So like, boop boop, Dottie's here. Dottie gets sent in.
Alright, you can make perception and investigation with your familiar stats.
I do not have stats for a Jesus lizard.
That's fine, roll and I will let you know what it is.
That's my favorite kind of lizard.
Okay, so that is fucking wood hard. The one and then the fucking symbol of Jupiter.
What?
14?
Thank you.
Symbol of Jupiter. 13.
14.
Plus the Jesus lizard stats.
My brain was not giving me that number 14.
Alright, so
But you could think
was
of
that
the symbol
perception
of
or
Jupiter.
investigation?
A Sailor Moon, okay?
Perception or
okay, okay.
investigation.
You're
And the number is on the die in front of me.
Assy, which is it? Perception or investigation?
I'm sending Dottie in to investigate. If she gets bamfed out,
Got it. Okay, investigation it is. So,
it's just a weird red lizard. I'll resummon her with an apology.
Right. Inside the house, as I said, it looks like the door was kicked in. There was actually two doors. There was the front door, as well as another one that like went to the forge, right? This is a house which has a small little thing off to the side. Doesn't seem like they have an anvil or anything like that. It seems like they mostly just have a forge out there. Within this house, though, it seems like they have quite a few jeweler kits and stuff like that. You see against the door where the forge is, they've wedged a chair up against it, as if they were trying to keep someone out. You can see a rug that looks like it's been like flipped over, nothing underneath it. You can see a staircase that goes up to the second level, and you can also see a kitchen with just cupboard doors open, and there's plates, utensils, food strewn across the floor. It looks like this place has been just ransacked in the quickest way possible. Everything has just been thrown on the floor as they went through.
Okay. Dottie, see any good knives? Daggers?
There's probably a couple of like utensils. Knives?
Not like utensils, like actual daggers.
Daggers? No,
Like-
no
like-
daggers.
Okay. Hey, I'm gonna have Dottie go upstairs.
Okay. You get
Continue.
upstairs. You can see as well. There's a banister at the top of the stairs, and it looks like it's been like cracked in half, as if something really heavy hit it. You can see that the floor here, there's some sort of sand that's been sprinkled across the floor, and it looks like it's there to absorb some liquid. It's dark in here.
I'm
So
gonna
you
scratch at that sand a little bit.
scratch at it. They're unable to really see, like you can't really discern colors too well here, but it is damp. Whatever it is that absorbs some sort of liquid.
How do you recognize the smell of blood?
Yes, you would recognize the scent of blood.
Okay.
Besides that, it looks like there's another door that looks like it's been caved in. If you were to go down the other way down the hall, it looks like it lets off into some sort of study. There's a desk in there as well as like a couple of other shelves.
We're gonna go into the study first.
Into the study first.
Although that cracked open door is intriguing as well.
Uh,
Also, every minute or so, I'm gonna blink into my own eyes, like listen for a second, and then blink back into Dottie.
alright. You can make one more
I'm a
investigation.
paranoid nutbag. Come on, give me something good. Ooh, 15. One higher.
Okay. So same thing. Everything in here has been tipped off. You know, everything has been strewn. Even like the desk itself, there's quite a few drawers, but they've been pulled out and they're like just scattered across the floor. You do notice there's one book that looks like it's like been tipped over and it's like pages are open. But you can see from it, being as you're a small little lizard, there's a couple of pages that hang lower than the others as if it was like pieces of paper tucked into this book.
I'm gonna grab those.
Okay. Little Jesus lizard scoops these things up.
Just grab those up. I'm also gonna have Dottie like look in odd positions, like climb inside of where the drawers would have been.
Okay.
You know, because only a foot.
I imagine you're already doing that with your high little investigation. He's just sluicing through this as quickly as he can, doing as much as he can. But that's the only real thing that catches note.
I also want Dottie to like follow the molding along the bottom walls and see if Dottie can find any way to get inside the walls.
Inside? So
So if there even is like a gap between any of the walls anywhere.
unable to find that with that investigation.
Okay.
Everything seems up to code but damaged.
Okay. Check the other room.
Other room
Smack.
seems to be a bedroom. It looks like something was pulled out from under the bed, and you can tell because a bunch of the blankets have been like flipped up over the bed, and they've like also been thrown onto the other side, but it still dangles. Underneath the bed, again, because you are a lizard, you can see one place where it's clear of dust, as if something is missing.
Is this person sized at all?
It seems like it would be chest size.
Chest
Or
size.
box
Okay.
size. It's a very square, very clean cutout from the dust.
I'm gonna have Dottie like tear up the mattress and rip all of the filling out of the mattress.
Fair enough, you're able to add to the mess in this.
Angry sex with the mattress?
Just cut it open, crawl inside, take everything out.
It's easy
Yeah,
enough,
no,
as there's like a
it's like-
large like slash through that you're able to enter through and start ripping it apart. But it looks like
Okay.
someone already had this idea.
It just reminds me of Noom. Holy fuck.
Anything else you would like to do? You sort of see this place.
I'm gonna have Dottie go and get inside the forge itself.
Get inside the what?
The forge itself.
The forge. The forge outside, like I said, it literally is just a forge, a place to heat up metal outside of the house. All of the tools are inside, and it looks like they mostly do jewel crafting. They're not here to bang out swords. They're here to do rings and stuff. It's still
gonna go
inside the town. They're trying to keep it down.
I'm going to start looking around for any Maker's Mug chisel.
You will know most of the tools are gone.
Yeah. I'm still looking around. See, maybe something like fell underneath somewhere, you know, what have you.
With the 2 perceptions you've made, as you've done one upstairs and one downstairs, this is the most you're able to find.
Nothing else.
Yeah, we're not letting you spam again and again. We did one for upstairs, one for downstairs.
One for upstairs, one for downstairs. Yeah, I'm gonna go in as I'm gonna sneak in. I'm sneaking.
Okay. I'll let you keep your stealth from earlier. As well as, doesn't seem like anyone's around. Everything's like dead quiet.
Yeah.
Whenever you've bamped into yourself, you've just been aware of the stillness. You can like actually, even with your perception, you just hear like the breeze whistle through the town.
And there's nothing around here that strikes me as at all worthwhile. There's like nothing.
You could probably grab like, you know, a couple of spare tools if you wanted, like, you know, half the value of a jeweler's kit, but maker's marks are gone. There's maybe a couple of like unfinished rings here and there if you wanted. You could probably pocket about 30 gold worth of like unfinished jewelry.
I'll grab 30 gold worth of unfinished projects.
Okay.
Free money, you
It'll
said?
weigh about 5 pounds.
Okay.
You know, it's just various
You might need
rings,
to
a
get rid
couple
of
of
that table,
necklaces, a couple of clasps, that sort of thing.
May made me cookies.
As well as there's mini broken smashed plates as you would like.
Also, I don't need to. I spent so much gold that I made more space. That's the real reason why I spend my money.
Anything else you would like to do here? If not, we are going to go to break and then we'll get back.
I'm gonna start looking around for sketchy, my sort of sketchy. I'm gonna start wandering around the neighborhood. And Dottie and I are going to look for any Thieves Guild signs. Like any markings for any sort of my people.
Then we will come back with you doing that, and we're going to go to break because we are a little bit behind on that. This was a rather tense thing, and it wouldn't have been good to stop partway through. So, see you guys back here in about 15 minutes or 10 minutes, guys. You tell me.
10 minutes. I want to get back to this.
Yeah, 10 is fine.
10? Fine with that, A-Rod?
10.
Yeah.
Alright, see you guys back here in 10 minutes. see how everyone else is doing, shall we?
That is.
Alright, are you
Mel Brooks
guys
movie.
ready to go?
As many as
Yeah.
I'm gonna get.
Alright, fantastic.
Come on in.
We're entering into the last hour of this, so what group shall we start with? We have Assy sleuthing through the town looking for a couple of things. Let's start with you three, as you guys are on the docks in this immediate aftermath. Most people have disposed, the opponents have started to take more space. Cannons have not been unloaded, Shelter, you would be aware of that, but as well as a few people have gathered, but they're keeping space. Things seem calm but tense.
Is there anyone else to heal in the immediate area?
Crew's done most of it. Probably one or two.
Then I will go over and I will inflict healing on them.
Inflict healing. Got it. A-Rod and Cole, what are you two doing?
I'm gonna come out of my perch and start making my way through the crowd towards Selshar.
Okay. You'll find him by someone inflicting some healing.
Think we should get out of sight? I don't think the townspeople are going to be very happy with us.
No, but I'm going to be on the edge of town today.
Tomorrow? You mean?
No, tonight. I told them I'd be on the edge of town tonight.
Oh.
And I'm not about to tell them the truth and then lie to them. If they have a problem, they can swing their bats at me all they want. It's not going to achieve anything.
Okay. I'll go with you. Hey Rod, do you wanna wait for Assy and we'll all meet up in our rooms?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds like a plan.
Get some rest afterwards, maybe?
Yeah.
And wait till I can kind of tell everyone what's happening. And then I'll go. Just hoping that they said they tried diplomacy. Obviously not.
Not very well. I guess they're not very good at it.
Sometimes it pays just to be honest.
Not very good at it, or they're just a bit too used to getting their own way.
I talked to the captain and she said they were here to instill order. Order through fear is not the same as order through peace.
Is it surprising though? They seem to be pretty militaristic.
Out of character, would I have known anything about Sigwolf and Fingolm?
Make a history check.
And I have a +4, so that brings me up to an 18.
An 18.
Why do I keep rolling it?
You wouldn't know the exact dates, but you would be aware that Fingolm was an island once colonized by Sigwolf. Something went awry, and they ended up leaving, but they kept the deed. A couple of years later, they sold this deed to Char, so Char showed up to colonize this island of Fire Freets. But when they showed up, it was heavily reinforced. There was quite a few battles, and they realized that upon killing some of the elementals brought from the fire plane, they're able to distill it to make gunpowder. Ever since that discovery, Sigwolf has said, hold up, that's ours, after Char stopped selling them the gunpowder and started raising more and more tariffs. Over the past 5 years, tensions have been getting a little high, and it's heavily disputed who owns Fingolm. Fingolm says no one does it, Char says we have the paper, Sigwolf says you never should have had that in the first place, it doesn't
Like,
belong
that
to you.
sucks. I got paper. I mean, when we were back in Red Bay, you remember that museum we went to with the Vickers? Those giant serpentine skeletons?
Quite vividly.
That is, I can only presume, that is one of the major reasons why Sigwolf is so militaristic. They're the closest thing to the Vicar Islands.
You also know that's
they,
the argument for the cannons with an 18.
that's why they are so adamant on having those cannons. No one else has those for the Navy. If you had to giant with those, you had to deal with those giant fuck-off snakes coming out of the water with fucking 18 arms all swinging swords at you, I'd be a little worried about my military power as well. I understand where they're coming from.
Yeah, I was about to say, I kind of do too. I mean, like, at some point, you just have to put your foot down.
Maybe
I just don't think that this was exactly the right moment to do it.
you and I are exactly on the same page. There is a reason, but sometimes they need to be a little bit more pliable. Starting a war here is probably not in their best intentions. Anyways, I think I'm gonna go to the edge of town. I just need to think a little.
All right.
If you wanna come, that's fine. If you wanna catch up with me after and talk to the two of them, that's fine.
No, I'm coming. Hey, Rod, try not to get too drunk, okay?
Oh, I think you know what? I might swear off alcohol for a little bit.
With as much as you drink, you might want to taper off.
You know what? That's an even better idea. Taper off.
No air quotes, just
No?
taper off.
Oh, okay. All right. I was just testing you.
Uh-huh.
Making sure you're still on the ball. I understand where AC's coming from, but honestly, Arod, I don't feel right leaving the twins. So, if push comes to shove, I'm gonna go. I really hope that AC will understand where I'm coming from and come with us. I'm hoping that you two will understand where I'm coming from and come with me. But if you're dead set here, I'm fine with going by myself.
You won't be by yourself. Core's going with you.
Yep.
But I don't know either yet. I need to do my own thinking. I see both sides of the argument, and it's just such a bad position to be placed in. There is no right answer.
No, there isn't. And I'm not sure if AC should be left alone either.
That's the thing, like, this isn't our first time telling Matthias about it. We told him when we were leaving Fey Pond, our friends are in trouble. He acknowledged that and said that we can do what we need to.
As you're having this conversation, you guys are approached by very tall elf. She's probably about 6'3", and she's wearing studded leather armor. And you also see that she has a badge very similar to the one Matthias gave you guys, but it has a different symbol you guys don't recognize. And she's just going to hold it out towards you, Shalashan. It was a good speech. You've been summoned.
May I ask by who?
Tellerina.
I don't believe I know who that is.
It's detailed in the letter. Give it a read. Hopefully we'll see you in the morning. Thank you for your work today.
Give her a little bow and kind of crack the seal on the letter.
She looks to you as well, Cole, and she goes, "Thank you as well. Your service was noted."
Just
I
try
feel
to
like
calm things down, that's all.
your help was noted feels a lot like the scene notification when you send someone a message. You're like, yep, sure, cool, whatever.
And as she says this, like, Shalasha, with your perception, you can see like she's like looking around the entire time. She doesn't give you that's like a little bow. Go back the way she came.
Slip my hands. Sorry?
Great. More people trying to pull us into their machinations. Is that how you pronounce it?
Machinations.
Machinations? Machinations.
I see him in the morning. I'm assuming she's from the Druid Circle.
Mm.
I'm gonna
Read the letter.
I'm gonna slip my finger through the wax seal and I'm gonna break it. I'm just gonna unfurl the scroll and read it.
It's penned in a very official thing, but you can see it is a lot more elven in the way that they draw their characters. Common, it's a lot straighter. Elven always has a bit of a flow, especially on Char, you know. It's even a little hard for you to read. And it says, you have been invited to meet with Talrina Firam and Darius Orsman. We understand that you're working with Matthias, and we were informed to make contact when you arrive, in case you acquired anything from him. Things are tense in Black Hollow. Best regards, Firam.
Talrina and Darius Orsman. It would presumably be in the...
There is an address penned into this as well.
Is it the embassy?
It's not the embassy, but glancing at it, it is a nicer section of the town, close to the city center.
Okay. Weird question. What time does the sun rise?
In this season, we're getting close to 7 a.m. is when it would rise.
Test out your world building, motherfucker.
At 7 a.m. That's when it rises. What do you want from me?
I thought you were still looking.
No, it was 7 a.m. Answer asked, answer given.
Okay. So I've been summoned to talk with two of the legates from...
It is addressed to Inflict Heroics, just so you know. Inflict Heroics, we understand you've been working with Matthias.
All of us need to go to this address tomorrow. It's an additional summons since we're working with Matthias. Probably more information they can give us. But that means AC will have to come along as well. I am going to leave it in your capable hands of wrangling that cat. But I'll be going to the Circle of Druids pretty much at sunrise tomorrow. So, do you want to say like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock for the meeting?
Yeah, I like that.
Here, I'll take down a scroll. I'll just pull out a piece of paper from my bag and I'll jot down the address. And then I'll hand the scroll and everything over to A-Rod. So you have the paperwork. I'll meet you there.
Hope you find what you're looking for, Salshar.
So do I. I'm gonna take a walk. I'll be on the east side of town.
I'm coming with you.
And where are you off to, A-Rod?
I'm gonna go back to the room and wait for Asty.
Fantastic. Assie, you have been sorting through this house. You've just finished pulling a couple of rings in after securing this place and also finding a few loose pieces of paper with your familiar. And then you exit from this building looking for someplace seedy, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Define seedy. Are you looking for trouble? Are you looking for sleazy? Are you looking for...
Great.
I am looking for the places that my old crew would have hung out.
Okay.
The places where organized crime meets up and trades stories and information.
Make a knowledge check.
Do I have advantage?
Or wisdom.
I'm gonna go with knowledge. I have no advantage. Ooh. That's only an 11.
11. You start going from place to place, but you're unfamiliar with Black Horrors. You've never been here. You find a couple of thieves' cant markings along the walls, but as you try to follow them, when you get there, it seems as though everything has been closed down from whatever it is that happened tonight. People have gone deep. They've dug themselves into holes, buried their head in the sand.
I'm gonna send Dottie and scratching into one of these hold-up places, looking for scratching around it, looking for a trail.
Okay. As Dottie enters into one of these places, squeezing under, you hear the sound of a trap go off, and your familiar just gets crushed. As it sounds like something on the other side of the door just slams into it.
I'm gonna wait and see if anybody comes to check that out.
What would you like to do? Just wait for a little bit?
Yeah, casually lean up against a wall in a shadowy alcove.
Alright, make a stealth check if you want.
Oh, that is so much better. 22.
22. A minute passes. 2 minutes. 3 minutes. Doesn't seem like anyone's coming to check. Or if they haven't noticed you.
I'm gonna widen the radius.
Like you want to try to like move back further, or what do you mean widen the radius?
Just looking around where the blacksmith's place was, right?
Yes, and you followed a
Now
couple
I'm
of
gonna
things.
go a couple more blocks out and look for more signs.
Well, I'm saying, so that general check you did was going through the city, following places, and then you finally found one, and it was dug down. So you went to another. Like, you've been at this for about an hour now. You know, it's
Yeah.
not exactly, oh, look, the Thieves Guild, right? You've been doing some sleuthing, you've been doing some looking. You finally found one that you're like, let's try it, and as soon as your familiar gets in there, it gets crushed. But you've been at this for a while, you're not in the same place. You've moved from the harbor closer to the city center, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So widening your radius really doesn't mean much. As like I said, you've been on the prowl.
I'm gonna
for a
go to whichever location I found was the closest to the blacksmith place. And I'm gonna post up somewhere in that area, keeping an eye out. I'm gonna find myself an abandoned building. I'm gonna find myself an inn within a stone's throw so I can get a room for a little bit and then fuck out again. But I am setting up shop in this neighborhood.
So you want to just kind of like wait and stake out for the night?
If I can't find anywhere that's like really good to stake out in that area, I'm gonna go to my room. I'm gonna go to an inn nearby, get a room, go there, resummon Dottie as an owl, and have her. Actually, no, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna find an inn nearby, and I'm gonna have Dottie resummoned as an owl and have her post up.
Alright. So mark off your incense. Takes about 10 minutes, but you will have your owl. And what do you do now that you have Dottie positioned?
He's gonna post up, staking out the closest one.
Alright, make a perception check, and this will be how you pass your night.
Yep. Okay, so body stat. Do keen hearing, that gives advantage, right?
For hearing checks, but this is...
Yeah, for hearing and sight.
Okay.
That's 19.
19. Alright. I will get back to you as this one take a little bit for something to happen. As you come in, you can also mark off 1 silver for the inn that you're staying at.
Okay.
Unless you're going back to the Sparking Timbers.
I'm. How far away is it compared to the other one I would have found?
One's closer to the city center, the other one is still in the harbor district.
Which one is closer to the black?
Well, obviously this one will be closer because you're in the city center, but the harbor district isn't like terribly far, probably like 15 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going. I'll send. Oh, 1 second.
You'll what?
I'm waiting for him to put his headphones back on. So a little while after I get situated, I'm going to send a message to Avod. That I won't be at that end and I'll be at this one instead. I'm not going back there tonight.
I'll respond with, we have a meeting in the morning, 9-10 o'clock. Just be here by then and stay safe.
Yeah, if you won't come looking for me, I'll just hang out there alone.
Okay, fair enough. Shalsha and Corthan. We'll jump to you two as you two are planning to spend the night out and about.
Yep.
So you head to the edge of town.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just staking out. What are you doing at the edge of town? What does this look like if someone was to show up? As you get closer to the edge of town, you could go by the tree if you wanted, or you could find another place. You could leave at the harbor. You know, there's a lot of edges of town.
I did say the east edge.
The east edge. The east is the harbor. It's...
Yep.
Okay, so north or southeast?
Probably northeast.
Northeast. Got it.
I just want to find an open patch. Does the harbor kind of meet? Is it like a hilly area? Is it a little? Is there like forest?
If you were to follow this up, and I'm going to give you this description before we got this far, you end up passing what seems to be like a wall about halfway through, but it's small and it's unmanned. Even like some of the stones have been taken out. The city has swallowed it and has expanded beyond it. Eventually you start to hit farmland. You start to hit richer soil. You can stick closer to the beach if you wanted, or you could go more into the fields, or you could pass past all of those. There are a couple of roads that snake through this. It's almost like deltas of roads that eventually meet up. A bit more west from here to the main road. That would let you off to, I think it's Black Garden.
I just want to find somewhere with a nice patch of trees. 1 tree, 2 tree, doesn't really matter. I just want to sit somewhere close to.
Alright, you'll need to go a little bit farther in from the shore. So a bit more north than east. But eventually you will find some. There's a couple of orchards that have like popped up. As well as a few trees that have grown outside of the bounds of these that have just naturally taken root. Nothing too old. And all of this is like young growth.
I just want to find a nice spot, and I would like to start tracing the sign of Juxta in the dirt, and just kind of position myself in the middle of it.
Okay. The other thing you'll notice with these trees is these are not child trees. They do not have any of the spikes from the trees here. These are like
Apple trees.
trees. Something that like you've never really seen before. You've only known them with spikes or to be like wilting little things on the side of a mountain.
And I'm going to trace the mark of Juxta into the dirt, and then I just want to kind of take some time, investigate the trees, meditate, just kind of be near nature.
Alright. Cole, anything I should know about?
How long do you want to wait?
I'm going to be here all night.
Oh, good God. Okay.
Told you. You can go back to the inn. I gave my word I'm going to be here. I honestly very much doubt anything's going to happen, anyone that's going to come, but I don't want to give my word on something and then just not be here. It doesn't really set a good image.
Oh, no. I guess I'll crash out here with you.
Did you bring a bedroll or anything? Do you have your belongings with you?
No, that's all back at the end, so I'll just have to crash on the ground.
How strong do these trees look?
As I said, they're like younger growth, so I wouldn't put like too much on it, but Cole would probably be fine.
Are two of them close enough together that I could string up like a hammock between them?
Nah, these are like just randomly like a single tree would last. Two trees or like a clump of them probably would be taken down. So you kind of like you're like by like a single tree that's like starting to sprout out. Like it's like new enough that like you could like wrap your arms around it, sort of thing. But old enough that like you wouldn't like bend and break it.
I'm used to sleeping on the ground anyway.
Well, I'll reach into my bag holding and I'll just pull out my bag. Just pull off the top for my bedroll and everything. I have mine with me if need be. Lay it out for you.
Yeah, sure. Wait, how did you do that?
Do what?
You just pulled a whole bedroll out of a bag. Like, it's not even that big of a bag.
Pull out the bag.
Are you starting to get like assy? Are you getting her powers?
No, honestly, I have no idea what the fuck Assy is. That is mind-boggling. Living in Yun, everyone has one of these. It's here. Put your arm in it.
I put my arm in.
Swallow
You can
some
keep
powder.
going.
Put my head in.
I'm just gonna hold the back of his armor. Whoa there, buddy.
Hello.
Think mask. And hold your hand out.
I do.
My gold mask will just flap to your hand.
Neat.
This is called a bag of holding.
Never heard of it.
Some really inventive magic someone developed along the way that allows you to hold like 500 pounds. In this, the bag only weighs about a pound itself.
15.
Is it 50 pounds?
15.
15. knew there
Sorry,
was a
I
number
use them
there.
a lot myself in other games.
It doesn't weigh that much, and it's honestly quite useful.
Yeah, I bet.
I found I was carrying my stuff around a lot, and like the weight doesn't bother me, but it's you never have enough hands.
So I could just sleep in there, couldn't I?
No.
But it's big enough, I think, maybe.
Think of it like I don't even know how to explain it. I don't believe there's oxygen in there. Like, you can't breathe in there. So you'll just die.
As this conversation continues, you guys will end up spending the night out here. A-Rod, anything I need to be aware of as you get that message from Assy informing you that they're not coming back? Tonight.
Might go looking for it.
Well, they do give you the name of the inn. This one would just be the Black Cup.
Black Cup?
Yep.
I'll head out. After, I mean, I've waited a while, right? And still, like, it's
Yes,
pretty clear
it's
she's
been-
not.
As long as you want to wait.
Alright, yeah, I'll wait a few hours and then go.
Oh, I would have told you straight up, I'm not heading back. I'm staying at this inn.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Like, there's no need to wait. I've told you I'm not heading back now.
Then I'll
I'm
head
not
out
heading back.
again.
I'm gonna wait just in case you decide to come back.
Hey, you never know.
Changes her mind.
Just forget that
Exactly,
you're
like,
staying somewhere else.
It's assy, for God's sakes. Who knows?
So, eventually you make it there. You're able to inquire if you wish as to what room she's in.
Yeah.
You can tell me what you would like to do when you arrive at this place.
I'm gonna. What kind of a joint does this look like? Does it look like a seedier tavern, or what are we?
It's closer to the city center. This one's actually a little bit nicer. It definitely has the same motif as everything else with the burnt timber, as well as all of the cups, obviously, have been burnt black. They're all like these wooden tankards. This place is a lot nicer than the Spark Me timbers. This one is area. It's reminiscent of a grand hall, and it's lined with several tables. You feel like if you were to come here, you would need to want to be a regular as to know where to sit. There's quite a few people that are like lining the benches. A lot of people murmuring quietly to themselves about what happened. But it's definitely more of a somber joint tonight.
Okay. I'll inquire as to what room the dwarf has checked into.
I'll let you know. Checked in quite recently. Just up there. Why do you know her?
Yeah.
Well, feel free to give a knock. Can't give you a key though.
That's understandable. It's alright.
Tell her.
Yeah, I'll go up to the room and give a knock on the door. Assy?
There was no verbal answer to you. Instead, there is a
What you
do,
want?
pause, do, pause, do.
And it roughly means go fuck yourself.
Go find yourself.
What does it
It's like, oh, you say who you are? Are you alone? Like, this is a general, like, query.
I'll give you a rhythmic knock as well, saying the all clear signal, our all clear signal.
So, the sight when the door opens is not at all what you would expect. In fact, it will probably be the first time you've ever seen Assy clean shaven. I immediately grab you by the collar, pull you in, and slam the door shut.
That is such a weird
Inside the
sentence.
room, there is a rough chalk outline of Char on the floor with markings of where Millscar is, where Fay Pond is, where we currently are, where Red River, where Pond is supposed to be, where Danny and so-and-so are supposed to be, and numbers drawn out, mapping out days of travel. There is Assy's own personal scribed notes stuck to the wall at various places. Like, this is full-on conspiracy theorist.
Are there red strings?
Red
Better be.
string, orange string, and green.
Really going hard.
So hard.
Well, glad
Um,
that you haven't obsessed over this.
There are no braids in my hair. All of it is pulled up into a ponytail, and you can tell I've even chopped it a little bit shorter.
There's like just a pile of hair off to one side.
A pile of hair up to the corner. No, it's not even
And
the
Dottie's
corner.
just
They
perched
don't
on
know
it.
something my familiar. Burn it up. Get rid of the evidence.
It
there are
smells like
hair
burnt
in
hair in
there.
here. Is that what you're telling me?
What?
It smells like burnt hair in here.
Yes, it does. And incense. And incense as well.
Just the perfume in a bit.
I was around the blacksmith's place. I couldn't risk anybody recognizing me. Seemed like the easiest way to throw them off my trail. And I go back to, like, finishing up my math on the floor in chalk.
I'll walk over, place a hand on your shoulder, say, "Hey, if you're really
How many
this
people
dedicated
died?
to it, I'm with you, okay?"
How many people died at the riot?
No
Because
one.
I don't know what Salashar and Cole told the Sacred Flame, but as far as I'm concerned, they set them on the path to arrest the blacksmith instead of having us deal with it ourselves, and that's their fault.
I don't know.
It's officially a mess that Inflict Heroics has made worse.
Look, I'm with you, okay? If you want to stick around, handle these murders, we'll do it together.
And I'm like on my knees on the floor. And Assie is just like, without saying a word, she starts crying, but like trying to hide it. So you'll
I'll
just
give
see
you a
like
hug.
the drop of like one tear on the floor and then another and another. Every time I have ever run away from anything, it has been a mistake. Going to deal with the twins now feels like a mistake. I can't make the math work so that we can go get them and come back without more people dying.
We'll handle it, okay? We're not running away from this mess. Just like the good old days, just you and me, remember?
You wanted to go after the girls.
I didn't want to do anything. No one comes out a winner in this situation. But if you are important to me, and if this is really what you want, then I'm with you. I got your back.
You're the only person I trust to have it. Other than
But-
Dottie, but like, she's a magical familiar that I formed a contract with. She kind of has to watch my back.
So, we have a meeting in the morning. But after that, we can go ahead and handle this.
They're going to want to.
I think we should go.
Go deal with a lich that's going to kill us.
No, we have a meeting in the morning. We should go to the meeting.
That's one small thing.
Yeah, but I think it's something we should do. It's just a small meeting, it'll be quick, then we can handle this, okay?
Yeah.
Get some rest. Please.
How bad was it?
Well, a wall of fire got cast.
That bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of turned into a shit show. Frankly, Salachar and Cord were the only ones that are able to help. I felt completely useless in the situation. But those two, they pulled it together and they defused the situation. Especially Salachar, I gotta give props to him for that. Credit where credit is due.
I find that unlikely considering his usual talents talking with people. Just one particular instance comes to mind, Zap.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
Shame.
Dude had a boner for murder. Fuck you.
Well, this time he pulled it off. Magic helped, but
Oh, it's time for everything, I suppose.
this is true. Now how about you get some sleep?
Sleep? What am I, a human?
Trans. Excuse me.
You go first. I want to try and run these numbers again.
Okay. I'll be right here if you need me.
Yeah. Get some rest. You look a little dirty.
Yeah, I need to shave.
I feel like you're saying something to me. I feel weirdly naked.
It's a new look, that's for sure. Although I gotta say, I like the beard.
Oh yeah? I don't want to risk getting noticed after
Of
rummaging around and then... Well... the blacksmith's place. But you,
I'm-
go trance. Dottie's watching over a particular location.
Okay, right after I'm done, you're going, right? That's the deal?
That's the deal.
Okay, good. Then I'll go sit on the bed, cross my legs. Trance out.
Fantastic.
I will braid a ribbon into his hair while he's in a trance.
Also, do me a favor, Assy, as I assume you also looked through the notes that you collected from the blacksmith's house.
Yes, I would definitely
Can
be
you make
searching.
the investigation for me?
No, not you, not you. You.
Can you make an investigation?
Wow, beautiful choice, nat 20.
Nat 20.
Nice.
Plus my investigation of... Oh, man.
You're not the only one who do's.
Plus 2. 22.
22. So, looking through these, one of them talks about someone named Garrick, and it mentions that they were taken by Yudvrog. There's another one that looks like it was burnt on the edges, but extinguished as if they didn't have time to get rid of it.
Okay, so... It says who?
Garrick. And it mentions that he's been taken by the flame.
Garrick. Was...
And it pretty much just says, cut connection, he's out. Right, is the general gist of it. The other one, that looks like it was attempted to be burned, but the job wasn't finished. Is basically informing them. Let me find the exact thing so that I'm not saying basically informing them. Alright, so this one says, the flame has come. We have to go to ground. And this is written in some sort of thieves' cant. You're deciphering this. Right? It's been written in the code. So there's an entire thing here, but it is very choppy from what you're able to decipher from it. So, the flame has come. We must go to ground. And it is penned by someone, and the code name is just Drent. D-R-E-N-T.
I'm sorry, you said D-R...
E-N-T. But there's also a date on it.
Okay.
The date is the 2nd of next month.
2nd of next month?
Yes. And it doesn't have a word, but it does have a symbol that you're able to also decipher that it means
And
nest.
this is on the note from Drent?
Yes.
Okay.
And then there's a date, and it just has a symbol, not a word, but you're able to decipher that it probably means nest or hideout.
Okay.
There would be more to this note, but that part has gone up in flame.
The vote is for next month, but that's on the 9th. This is a week before that.
Anything else you would like to do tonight?
I think that's it.
Alright, and Arod, you've already taken your tranche. So Shalashar and Cole, are you guys taking watches or anything like that?
Yep. I'll just basically keep myself busy. Just equivalent of a rest.
Okay.
I'm
Cool.
still gonna. Sorry.
Before I go to sleep, actually. So, Solishar, what do you know about Anima Solus?
Don't think I know that name.
It's the place that Sarah and Danny are investigating and trying to get to. You seem to
You
recognize
can
the
make a
name last
history
time I brought
check,
it up.
Shalashar.
Yes. That it brings up to 17.
17. You haven't heard much about it, because you are an archaeologist. You would recognize it as just a name that's been given. It basically means light soul, and it's a code name for a city rumored to exist that would prove humans existed on Char at the same time that the elves were. They would give them a claim to this continent instead of just being outsiders. But it's rumored. There's no proof of it.
From what I understand, it's more of a title. It's hypothesized that elves weren't the first ones here. This theoretically brings to light the fact that humans may have existed here as well. We don't exactly know what's down there, but it's enough to strike interest in a lot of archaeological minds. So I'm assuming for the twins to be so adamant on finding it, it'll be a hell of a discovery.
Good one or a bad one, though?
Depends on what side of the street you're on.
Yeah, I mean, if the humans think that they also now have a claim to the continent, isn't that gonna bring around a lot of trouble?
It could.
I mean, things seem to be kind of tense already. That's...
I mean,
Huh.
I don't... For me, digging through old mines, seeking out those sort of archaeological finds, it gives me a joy, giving me insight into what the past knew. I don't do it for personal gain, I don't do it for gold and treasure. I just want to see things in a different manner. Some people do it strictly for what they can find, what they're going to be able to grab out of those and list of positive information. I can't say whether or not the girls are going to do it for good cause, if they have something to gain off of it. All I know is someone's eventually going to find it. It is simply a matter of time. What side of the street they're on when they find it, maybe they can be persuaded. Maybe there's a way to alleviate tensions. All I know is I want to help where I can, and I don't want to leave anything to pure blind luck, you know.
Yeah, no, that place doesn't need to be found. It really shouldn't be.
There's already a lot of political tension here. Between the orcs pushing in, the elves trying to cement themselves here, the flame pushing in, it's turmoil.
No, I don't think you really realize what I'm actually saying. It exists.
Well, I can only imagine it exists.
It's not a myth.
Have you seen it?
Sort of? Yes? Sort of? Kind of? I know where it is, and it doesn't need to be found?
What do you know?
I'm actually going to make an argument for all of us to go after the girls, but I don't want to repeat myself, so that can be really done in the morning when we all meet up.
Well,
But I'm pretty sure Danny and her twin have narrowed it down to only a couple of spots. And I'm now worried. Well, you know what? We'll go over it in the morning. I'll just be repeating myself otherwise.
well, whatever the case, I appreciate you, and I'm glad that you can see my perspective. Thank you for joining me.
Well, it's the good thing to do, and that's why I was made, I guess, sort of. If anyone shows up, make sure to wake me up. I'm crashing.
Get some rest.
Cole, when you do go to bed, you will feel the influence of Hoitha trying to connect with you.
Oh.
But since
I'm
you're not
falling
attuned,
asleep.
you do have a choice if you want to let her in or not.
Just help.
I almost don't, but then right as I'm falling asleep, I do.
Okay. In that case, we'll be picking up the next episode with whatever it is that she has to say. As it is 9, so we have to end it here. But I hope you guys had fun, and we will pick this up next week. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Alright, see you guys then. Till then, hope you have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.